So maximal aerobic speed. This relates closely to maximal aerobic performance. Thus, increasing the maximal aerobic speed or the mass will provide that building of aerobic capacity. So firstly, we need to establish your maximal aerobic speed or your mass. So what we want to do there is we want to see how far can we run continuously for about 5 minutes. Now there are various ways that we can do this measurement, but an easy way that I find is find a track, 400 meters, run around as much as you can, do the most distance that you can for 5 minutes. Take that amount and divide that by 300 seconds. So as an example here, we had, say we did 1400 meters, divide that by 300 seconds, that gives us a measurement of 4.7 meters per second. Now, when we look to start improving that, so that's our baseline, and we look at start building that and getting that better. What works best is using the grid approach. So we will mark down a grid for on the field that we can use. You want your distances in the grid being measured at, for your long one, 100 mass. So that would be 4.7 times 15 seconds. So 4.7 times 15, you get that as your meters. Your short lengths will be at 70%. So 4.7 times 70, and that will give us our grid. Now when we train this, we want to make sure that we're doing each length of the grid in 15 seconds. So 15 seconds, then 15 seconds down. Although you can obviously do that faster, you want to take that time as more of that active recovery. So that will form our grid. Then in terms of load, we're going to look at doing about 1 to 2 sets a week, and we want to do it for 3 repetitions. Week 1 and 2, we're going to look at doing 100% of our mass. Then we're going to slowly, incrementally progress that. So always the progressive overload, as it is an important factor in strength, the same needs to be applied with your conditioning. So essentially you'll go 100%, 105, 110, 115, and then 120. And you'll always do that on your longer lengths, but the short lengths in the grid will always stay at 70%. And now you can obviously incrementally increase that as you know how you progress and how you see fit, and that can change from person to person. But essentially this is a kind of a baseline that we're looking at. Week 1 and 2, 100, 3 and 4, 105, and incrementally we increase that by 5%. Then after week 10, we can retest that as we did initially, have that track, do for 5 minutes straight or 300 seconds, do your best that you can. And what you should find is that your distance, overall distance there increased, and thus your maximal aerobic speed increased.